You said one thing that's different now than in 2022 was the Fed was raising rates. We just had Adam Posen on, who thinks that the Fed's going to be forced to raise rates this year, though, because of what's going on, the policies in Washington, D.C. and sticky inflation. Do you think there's no chance that the Fed raises rates this year?
No, of course there's a chance. It's not our house call. But if things continue to move in this direction, and let's say we get an oil risk, to the upside. Oil's kind of making a move right now. That could cause the Fed to raise rates 25 basis points. But even if we say that, okay, we're not raising 400 basis points. Then I'm very comfortable saying the chance of that is zero. Okay.
Right. So
that's how I think it's different than 2022 in that sense. I don't think there's as much downside for rates, but that doesn't mean there couldn't be 10% downside for many stocks just if rates stay at this level.
It's only the second week of 2025, and already we've had multiple narratives on fiscal expansion, on tariffs. What's one thing you would love to have clarity on to understand the market this year?
Well, I think clearly tariffs is going to be the one that is the most, that's for equity investors, that's going to be the biggest focus because that can affect earnings probably the most severely in growth. All right, immigration, I think, is going to be kind of a push and take, and I think the other one is taxes. Are they going to try to get more tax cuts through? Or are they just going to try to extend the existing tax cuts or the current tax law? And that will affect. I think that will affect rates. So it's really tariffs and taxes. I don't think we're going to know about taxes for quite a while. I think tariffs we're going to know quite a bit in the next month or two. And we've said this for a while. We said we think the first half is going to be choppy. Okay. Second half, if they can execute on all these policies and we can kind of get to a point where the markets get comfortable with this, the second half of the year could be much better for equities.
What do you like? Where are the opportunities? There's hiding out in quality stocks, but is there anything that's getting you actually excited?
Well, I think the area we've been most bullish on is financials. I do think that's an area where it seems to be a lot of a coalition around deregulation. There is pent-up demand for M&A. There's pent-up demand for other capital markets activities. So I do think financials is an area we continue to think there's value there, and that's a global call. The second one is probably energy and commodities and materials. These parts of the market that we can't do all these things everybody wants to do, like build data centers, add infrastructure, robotics and all these things. You need materials, you need energy for that. So I think those are areas that have been overlooked by the market, underappreciated by the market that could be quite interesting this year.